What's going on, my sweet kids? Nick here with Mission FX. And then this week was this was my second worst week all year so far. Past 3 months has been my second worst week, and guess what? It was still just break even. That's it. Literally, it was break even. This is my second worst week all year. The other worst week I've had, it was just break even last week as well. So the markets are in trends. Here's a screen recording on my terminal right here, just to show you guys history. So I set the date back to February 28th, which was the beginning of the trading week for this past week. And you can see pretty much break even. These are all the trades I've taken. We're going to go through each one of these trades step by step in this video. And then there's so you can see this live terminal. And yeah, that's it. So that's it. My worst trading weeks this whole year have just been break even. And that's pretty awesome considering I'm a trend trader. The markets have done a lot of pullbacks within their trends, especially these pairs right here. So Euro, just like continued washing down. Same thing for AUD pairs, just continue. We had a little bit of a bull run, but then came back and got my break evens on one for right here. Same thing on AJ, started going up, then we pulled back. Same thing on New Zealand dollar pairs, just rangy back and forth. CAD was fine, and US dollar's just gone crazy, just like pushing upwards and on most of these. So yeah, it was still a crazy week, but still I came out break even. That's literally like a trend trader's best case scenario for a bad trading week is break even. And I want to show you guys why. I want to show you guys how I managed risk this week and how I did everything. So I'm going to show you my live term. I'm going to show you all the trades that I've taken. We're going to go through my transaction history right here, and we're just literally going to go through piece by piece. And all of these trades were called live for free in my free Telegram channel, which you can get immediate access to by hitting the link in the description of this video. And then put in your name and email on my website. You get instant access. You get a link to this Telegram channel. It's directly below like the little free training video, along with like the little free training video on how I trade. So if you want free access to this Telegram channel, and it has to be this one because there are some fake Telegram channels which are not me in Telegram. If you want access to the real one, then what you need to do is you need to hit the link in the description of this video. And then I'll take you to my website, put in your name and email, and you get a link to this one right here. Don't join the other stupid one, which does like, it's like, there's like a bunch of like fake scam Telegram channels of me and like a lot of other like gurus. And so it's like really annoying. Don't join the scam one. Just don't be an idiot. Click the link in the description and join that one. And then let's get started here. So you can see here's my positions. This is my live terminal right here. There's no open trades right now. So we'll go to transaction history and we'll go to February 28th. So let's go back here to the 28th of February. Well, I didn't even take any trades. The first trade I took was AUD USD. I took a buy, and then you can see I closed out my first partial profit right here at about 1 unit of gain. Now, this month I was supposed to be risking $500 per trade. I forgot. I totally forgot that it was March, and so I only risked $250 for this trade on AUD USD, and then all the ones after, like on AUD USD, this one I risked 500. Same thing for AUD JPY. Same thing for Euro USD, and then this is the remaining 80 positions came back. So there's I think there's like 4 trades I took this week, but we'll go through them all right here. There's like 4 or 5. I guess we'll find out, right? So here we go. So this was the first AUD USD trade of the week on March 1st. So, and it was a buy, and I closed out some partial profits here. So let's go back and let's look at why I took this trade. So AUD USD, there's this trade right here. Now, if we're going back out to the daily, price is in a beautiful uptrend, still continuing and still pushing in a super hard uptrend. I'm still looking for buys, and price was right in here. Okay, so it was this big spike downward. So it was a nice pullback within this really nice uptrend. I went to the H4, and so we had this support resistance zone right here. So that's that. Now my trading system is super simple. It's literally like I just wait for price to come to a super clear horizontal level on like the H4, H1. I wait for price to break above the level and come back and test the level and then start to bounce during an uptrend. That's it. Then I look to take a buy like right here at the zone to try to target price continuing in its daily trend upwards. I just find my entries on lower time frames, and then I try to trade with the overall direction. So that's pretty much it. A break and retest of a horizontal zone during a clear trend. That's literally all I do. And that is what happened here. Price broke back above this support resistance level, came back and tested right here. So this is on the H4. How I normally do my entries is I go into the H1, and then I try to see some rejection. And so as you can see right here, You can see this zone's pretty clearly defined. It was like support 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times, broke below, tested as resistance, failed to continue downwards, instead broke back above, came and tested and started having some rejection. This right here, this counts that all my trading rules are met. Break and retest during a clear horizontal level, during an uptrend with rejection and retest and everything. After price had rejected this zone with this like really strong bullish wick right here, I went ahead and went long. I just entered a buy after this candle closure. I entered a buy with the stop loss just below the lows. It's also below the horizontal zone, and a final target of a higher high in the daily chart. So if price is going to continue a daily uptrend, then price should come maybe somewhere up in here, right? We don't know exactly how far it'll go, but if it's going to continue its trend, an uptrend is characterized by higher highs and higher lows. Price should go somewhere up in here into this zone. Then it might pull back. Then it might go up higher and pull back, up higher and pull back. If you guys remember from like, what is this, 3 weeks ago now? Yeah, almost 4 weeks ago now. It's March 6th today. So 4 weeks ago, I took a trade here on AUD and it continued up to my final target of a higher high in the daily. And I booked out all my profits like right in here, like what was this, like 2 weeks ago. So this was a nice trade. It was a nice like 30 units of reward trade. This risk reward for the trade that I took this week on AU was a 1 to 32. So it was a break and retest of a clear horizontal level during a clear trend. So how I managed this trade is after it went into some partial profits right here, my trading system, I have an active management trading system. I have an active trade management system in which after I enter a trade, I will manage the trade by closing partial profits at least like a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward ratio usually. And I'll close out my initial risk. So if I risk like 250 on the trade like this, I'll close out around 250 bucks. That's why you see this partial profit taken here, this partial scale out of 285 bucks. But normally it'll be like 250, but I guess I just put the lot size in a little bit too big. What was it? Yeah, so like 0.6 lots I closed. So I closed out partial profits. That covers the commission on the trade. That covers the, a little bit of profit or whatever. It pays for one loser usually. And then that's that. So I closed out partial profits and I moved the stop to break even. What ended up happening is price ended up coming back. It actually came really close to the break-even stop, but it didn't hit it. It came back here, and then it shot up again into even more profit. It was in at one point, like, I think this was like 7 units, 8 units, 9 units of reward. So a 1 to 9 risk reward ratio. And then it came back in here, and then it kept going sideways, and it came down and hit the break-even stop at the end of the week on Friday, which was yesterday. It was Bonnie's birthday yesterday. That's why I didn't make a video. We were hanging out with family all day. So that's why I'm doing the weekly recap video today instead of yesterday. But price came back here yesterday, hit the break even stop. So this trade, it was still a profitable trade. I still made, at least I made 1 unit of reward on this one. And the rest came back for break even. So yeah, I'm happy with how I managed the trade. It is what it is. That's what happened. So we also I took another trade right here, which was this one. So AUD/USD, you can see I took a buy right here. Where is it at? A buy right here. So on March 3rd, I took a buy, and that was this right in here. It was that trade right there. So remember, what is my trading system? What is my super complicated, mysterious trading system? It's a break and retest of a super clear horizontal level during an uptrend. So what happened here? Price broke above a recent high. It came back and it retested this zone, and then it started to bounce. Now, most of my zones are based in the H1, so that's what I use for my entries. So price broke above here, came back, retested, and started to bounce. And also, just so you guys know, this first test up here, that would have been fine as well. I just wasn't watching the charts at that time, but I would have taken that trade had I been watching charts at that time. I just wasn't watching this pair during that time. But price came back here to this zone, and then it started to reject it again, left a really big rejection candle. And after that rejection candle, I called a buy. So this is it. Like I said, I called all these live in Telegram. I share everything, full analysis, full everything. Let's go see what happened. I shared a screenshot, I believe. This was, where's it at? Here's this. So this was it. So I entered right here after price pushed above the level, and then it came back to retest right here. So I got in right here, and this is on the minute 3 chart. Remember, this is that H1 horizontal support resistance level. This is how the trade looked at first. At first, I entered right here. It went up into profit. Then it came back down here, and then it went by my entry. Then it came really close to the stop. Then it started going back into profit. Then it ended up screwing around, going sideways, and then ended up hitting the stop loss. So this came, and this hit the stop loss for 1 unit of loss. So that is this right here. If we scroll up through my terminal, That's this $500 loss right here. That's 1 unit of loss. So that's what happened. This trade had a 1 to 39 risk to reward ratio if we're targeting a higher high in the daily chart. So it had good risk reward, just like the first one. This one actually had better risk reward than the first one. So yeah, it was a small loss. It was either going to be like, small loss, $500, or it's going to be huge profit, like $5 to $10 to $15,000. So that's it. I just wait for those good winners to come along. So now I also entered a buy on AUD/JPY. You'll see right here at the same time I entered a AUD/USD buy, which was this one, that one that got stopped out. I entered a buy on AUD/JPY as well. So let's go and cover that one. So we'll go to AUD/JPY right here. And this one was it was sort of the same scenario, right? So 4-hour chart, daily chart, price is in an uptrend. That's pretty obvious, pretty clear. Price had this beautiful pullback last week, or I'm sorry, this was maybe like 2 weeks ago. And then at the beginning of last week, price started channeling upwards again. So that was where my buy was initiated there as it was going up to try to target a higher high. Now, where specifically did I enter? Let's go here to the 1-hour chart. Now you can see there's a clear horizontal support resistance level right here. There's price found support initially right here in the past. Price came back to this zone, broke below it, but they came back above and then retested this zone. So if we go down here to the lower time from like the minute 15, we can get a closer look at what's going on at this H1 zone. You can see right here, if you go to the minute 15, and in fact, let me just go to the minute 5 just to really show you. You can see that price hit this zone right here, had a lot of pins past it, so a lot of rejection. Price pinned way past this zone, but broke back above and then came and retested. So this right here, it's a break and retest, break above, and then a retest of a 1-hour support resistance zone during a clear uptrend. So that's all it was, just a break and retest of this zone with rejection. So I entered when it came back down here and started to reject, and then I called this here in Telegram right here. Where's it at? So at 8:47 a.m. on Wednesday, March 3rd, I said I've entered a buy on AUD/JPY. Here's my entry and here's my stop price, and this is what it looked like at the moment I entered. So as you can see, this is the H1 support zone, right? Came back, hit the zone, pinned below it, and then broke back above and retested it. Broke above, retested the zone of support, started to bounce. So I entered a buy, and then this one started going good. It was going good. This was that AUD/USD stop out. But AUD/JPY was going pretty nice at first. It went into like a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward or something like that. Maybe 1 to 2, 1 to 3. I think it was a 1 to 3. So what I was gonna do is right here is I moved my stop loss to break even. Here it is. So right here you can see at 9:54 I said update to AUD/JPY. Price is in a 1 to 2 risk reward profit. Stop has been moved to break even, and I didn't book out partial profits because if I book out too much partial profits right here, it really caps the upside reward potential. So even though it's like a 1 to 40 risk to reward ratio, right? If I would have taken like half the trade in profit right here, what that would have done to the risk reward is it would have lowered it to probably around like 1 to 20, meaning like if I literally close 50% of the position right here, that really caps the upside potential. Like it caps the upside potential by pretty much half. So if I have the potential to make 40 units of profit, but I close half of the trade at just a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, that means I only have 50% of the position left over. It's effectively meaning I'm only going to make half the profit if it continues to my final target. I don't like doing that. I like waiting for maybe like a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio before even taking out partial profits. It depends on the trade. Sometimes it's 1 to 2, but not very often. Usually it's between 1 to 3 to 1 to 4. What I love about 1 to 4 risk reward is that if it gets to a 1 to 4 risk reward, like maybe like up in here around these previous highs, then you only have to close 25% of the trade and profit to cover your initial risk. So in this one, if it would have gone to a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio, and I closed 25% of the position, I would be closing $500 in profit, and then the remaining profit on the trade would be like $1,500 open. Then if that continues to like a final target, like if it just keeps going, right, then you just multiply the remaining position by the total target. So if this was like a 1 to 57 risk reward ratio, it's pretty insane. Right here, let me just go back to this chart right here. So this one was right here. So if we're targeting a higher high in the daily chart, which I was targeting kind of this next weekly zone, it's like a weekly zone. If you scroll way back here and you look, see it's like a weekly. If you go to the weekly chart, you can see it better, but this is like a weekly resistance area. So if price does like continue up to that final target area, which I mean, it's in a clear daily, weekly uptrend, a daily, weekly 4-hour uptrend. If it continues up there, it'd be huge profits. Even if it continues half of that, it's still about a 1 to 30 risk to reward, a little bit under that, maybe like a 1 to 29 risk to reward ratio. Even if it continues to the previous high, it's like a 1 to like 20 risk to reward ratio. So there's plenty of profit potential. And you multiply 20 times, what, 75% of 500, like 375? I don't know. You do the math. It's a lot of profit. It's like thousands of dollars. It's like maybe 10K or, whatever it is. You guys can do the math. So that's what happened. So I moved my stop loss to break even. However, I did not take partial profits. Again, I was waiting for like a 1 to 4 right here. I didn't want to chip away at the position too much. And that never happened. Instead, price came back to the break even stop and then pinned me out of the trade at break even. So this one resulted in a break even trade. And pretty much, I think it covered the commissions on the trade. So we'll go back and we'll check it here in my terminal. We'll see how much it closed at. So it closed at like 30. So $30 profit. So it almost covered the commissions in the trade. I think for this trade, like what's this, like 5 lots? So that would have been maybe like $50 in commission. So yeah, so almost covered the commissions in the trade. Pretty much a break-even trade. It is what it is. It was either going to be a huge winner, but or worst case scenario, a tiny loser. This happened to be a break-even, so it's no big deal. So now after that, this was this trade. It ended up going sideways and going back and forth and over. So yeah, I'll just look on trades like this next week. I'll look for more trades on this next week. The next trade I took was Euro USD. Here you can see I took a buy. So I took a buy with 6 lots on Euro USD at this price, and we will now go and look. So let's go and look at Euro USD. So, and I think this was the last trade. So it's a quick trading week. So in Euro USD, you can see price on the daily, 4 hour. If you go to the daily, price is in an uptrend. We're making higher highs and higher lows. This had not yet happened. I was looking at Euro USD up in here where that arrow is. So that's what I was seeing on Euro USD, right? So higher highs, higher lows. The fact that this has now happened and we have a break below this structure zone on the daily, this is not looking good for Euro USD to continue bullish in the coming weeks. We would need like a break back above this zone and then a test to continue up. If price stays down here for too long, I think I'm going to stop looking at Euro USD for buys because now I've got like lower lows and a lower high structure point formed. But that's beside the point. Whenever I was looking at this, it still looked good for buys. Price was still pushing up with like its higher lows and stuff like that. So that's what I was looking for. So I was looking for my buys right in there. I go down to the H4. And you can see there's this horizontal support resistance zone. So again, let's go over my complicated trading system, right? It is a break and retest of a super clear horizontal level within a super clear uptrend. That is literally it. That is my whole trading system. I mean, obviously there's a couple more trading rules and there's a whole trade management system, but that's it in a nutshell. So what do we have here? We have a super clear horizontal support resistance level. It was support there, once, twice support here, break and retest for here to continue down. Then it broke back above, tested, continued up, and then price had come back in here to this support zone. So it continued in this support zone. Let's go in, let's get a closer look at what's going on here. So we'll go to the minute 15 and we'll see price had come to this H4 support resistance zone right here and bounced this support a couple times. So we had 1, 2, 3 times. Price failed to take off after testing 3 times. So instead, price did what it normally does after it hits a zone multiple times and fails to bounce. It had a spike below the zone. Some people call this a liquidity spike. In my course, I teach this as like the wick off spring. Some people call it a fake out. There's all sorts of things you can call it. Don't get it too complicated though. If price just hits a level over and over, and by hit a level, I mean if it hits a support or resistance zone multiple times without really bouncing away from it, any substantial move away from it, what it typically means is that price is probably going to break that zone. That's what it typically means. So that's what happened here. Price counts 1, 2, 3, and it failed to bounce to the zone that broke below. Same thing up here. Price tested this resistance zone 1, 2, 3 times, 4, 5, whatever, and it couldn't bounce from it, so it just broke back above. Doesn't happen every time, but it happens the majority of the time. I love when stuff like this happens because it typically means you'll have a nice move right after. So the fact that price couldn't go at this zone initially right here, as a support a couple times, we had a liquidity spike below the zone. So what do I wait for when this happens? All I wait for is just for price to simply break back above the level and retest the level. And as long as it breaks back above and then it comes and retest, then that's fine, because what this means is this move right here probably grabbed a lot of stops, probably triggered a lot of pending orders like sell stops, as well as like sometimes there's like people have like pending orders to like stop out, right? So you get your stop loss below the zone. So it triggers a lot of orders, triggers a lot of liquidity, a lot of people come to the market. As long as it just breaks back above the zone and comes and retests and bounces, that's literally all I look for. That's all I look for. So that happened. So On the daily and 4 hour, right, this is a break in retest of a horizontal zone. I thought price would continue up from here. And then on the lower time frames, we also have this sort of fractal confluence. Like on the lower time frames, it was doing the same thing. Price had broken above and retested this horizontal support resistance zone with some rejection. You can see there's a little bit of rejection right there here in the minute 5, minute 3 chart. So yeah, I entered this trade, called it live in Telegram as it was occurring. Let's go and start looking in here. Where'd I call this out? I just want to show you guys, like I share every single thing live. All right, here it is. So this was it. So let's go see where I'd, so right here. So 9:53 a.m. This was on Friday, I believe. I just entered a buy on Euro USD at the current market price of this and a stop loss at the, I made a whole 3-minute video showing exactly why I was in the trade and also the plan, the complete trade management analysis plan. Sorry, the complete analysis and trade management plan for EU. I shared literally all of it, the whole everything. As you see, this was a break retest, just like I showed in the chart. At one point, it was in profit like 1,500, like it was going really good. So yeah, initially it was going really good. And then I updated the trade. When was this? Like, this was like just 20 minutes after I entered. Update to EU, stop loss has been moved to break even. Now price continues up to the next resistance area of this. I'll close out some partial profits and then yeah, let's just see where it goes. So let's go and recap what happened. So EU continued up, right? It continued up into like $1,500 of profit, about a 1-to-3. It didn't go far enough in a profit for me to peel out any partial profits. Again, I don't like to cap the upside potential. This had a 1-to-32 risk to reward ratio. If I close out half of the trade, if I close out 50% of the position at a 1-to-2, my upside potential is only really about like 1-to-15 risk to reward ratio, which is still good. But I mean, like, why go like for a 1-to-15 when you can go for like a 1-to-20, 1-to-30, 1-to-40, 1-to-50? Like, I'd rather have more potential reward. I'd rather have like 9 break even or losing trades in a row and then have one huge winner where it hits the final target with most of the positions still active. Like, I'd rather have that, because on one of those trades, I'll make 10, 15, 20K. And then for all the losers, I'll lose maybe like, I don't know, like 5K, maybe not even that much. Maybe I'll break even on half and then only lose half. So maybe I'll only really lose like 2,500 on my losers. And then my winners will be like 10, 15, 20K, like on one trade. So that's what I wait for. I don't care if it comes back and hits my break even. I don't care if I miss out on, if it stops me out before, I don't care. As long as I'm following my rules and controlling risk, I know my system works really well long term. And you guys who follow me in Telegram, who have been following me, all my trades, everything for the past, 2 months now, it's been over 2 months now. You guys see the ins and outs of the daily trading, right? We've had, every week has been profitable up until the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been break even. So it's been an amazing year so far. Literally, like, it hasn't been bad at all. I've just been waiting for things to, for things to pretty much shift back into their uptrends. So yeah, I moved the stop loss to break even. The rest came back at break even. And then that was this right here. You can see on Euro USD. So I got an order fill right here, sold out of the position at $75. So pretty much covered just the commissions on the trade, which I believe so this was like $30 right there to close the trade. The initial commission on that trade, because OND's commissions are kind of high, but it's still okay because I can trade from TradingView. ON is all right. So $28 to initiate the position, $28 to close it. So it's about $60 commissions. The trade was closed at $75 per. That essentially is just, it's a break-even trade. The commissions are covered. Everything's fine. Everything's all good. If this would have continued up into profit, I mean, it would have been huge. And eventually one of them will, right? As long as you keep on taking trades that align with your trading system and controlling risk and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was it. That was my trading week. And you can see the last thing right here, AUD USD, this little $24 winner, enough to get 2 Chipotle burritos with extra guacamole. You can see that AUD USD, the rest of the position that I was in from Monday, I believe that was Monday or whatever. Again, I held this, right? It continued up into more profit. I already booked out partial profits. The rest came back for break even. So it was like down here. Came back, hit break even, and then pinned me out at break even, and then it ended. So this was still a profitable trade. I got 1 unit of reward on it. I wish I would have risked the whole $500 risk like I was supposed to do this month, but like, again, I totally forgot. But every trade after that was like $500 risk, so this is all perfectly fine. The risk rewards will work themselves out in the long run. But yeah, so still a pretty decent trading week. Like, worst, it was like the second worst week out of all year. And again, here's all those trades in my terminal. There's that terminal, it's 53K in it. switching the trading history back to February 28th, and then showing all the trades. So these are all the trades I've just showed you. It shows all the commissions and everything taken as well. Every trade this week, and then live account right here. So yeah, that's it. So if you guys want to follow my Telegram channel and keep on following, I hope you guys have been learning a ton. If you've been learning a ton, let me know in the comments of this YouTube video, and like this video. It really helps out the channel. And then if you want to follow my trades for free here in Telegram, which it has 30,200 people following my trades right now live for free every day. Not many people give out this much value for free. I mean, I've had people tell me my Telegram channel, but this is my free, right? It's my free Telegram channel. It costs you nothing to join, and you can just join it indefinitely, right? Like I have a paid program, but this Telegram channel right here with all the stuff that I've just shared with you here in this video, all of this was done for free. Like it's like right in front of you every single day. People have told me all the time, like, Nick, your free Telegram channel is like way better than every other paid group that I'm in. And I like laugh because I'm like, there's like nobody else giving out this much value. Aside from there's a couple people who do, but I'm one of them who gives out this much value for free. So yeah, I think it really helps the niche. I think it helps you guys, and I think you guys really like it a lot. So yeah, hit the like button on this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I release outlook videos, recap videos, training videos, and stuff like that. And if you'd like to join this channel, again, just hit the link in the description, put your name and email in on my website, and boom, you get an instant link to join this channel along with a little quick free training video to teach you how I trade. That's pretty much it. So yeah, let's look forward to a next trading week. I'm happy with how this week went. I followed all my rules. I controlled risk. So everything worked out great. Still, break even week. I'm perfectly happy with that, because every now and then you have one of these trades like this that just goes into huge profit. And it only takes like a couple of those a month to make you like 10, 20, 30, 40K a month if you're only risking like 250 to 500 bucks per trade and having good risk reward and good risk management, kind of like this. Mission FX teaches you how to do that. So consider joining Mission FX. I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great rest of the weekend. Cheers.